Mallory, on number, alright, on number 1, where are we going to start the graph at? I just said Mallory.
Oh, God. I didn't get that part.
Mallory, where are we going to start the graph at? We're going to start down 2, and then where are we going to go from there? Up 5 and right 1. Okay, that might only fit on, only 2 dots are going to fit on that graph. Make sure you draw your lines kind of straight. How is this different than yesterday's, by the way?
Not inequalities.
Not inequalities. So there's no shading. There's no less than or greater than. So there's not an infinite number of answers. There's not like a shaded region. There's only one answer. Actually, unless it's number 4. 4 is weird. Let's see if you guys can figure it out there. Where are we going to start the other equation at in the graph? Up 4. And where are we going to go from there? Down 1, right 1. Down 1, right 1. Okay, is that it? No, we're trying to use the graph to solve it. The graph is not the solution. The graph is just to help us find the solution. So what is the solution that should work in both equations?
1, 3.
Right. Where these 2 lines cross at? 1, 3. 1 to the right, 3 up. So you could check the solution how? If you put it in both equations and it works in both equations, you know you got it right. I'm not going to make you know. But if this was a test, I would highly recommend it. Okay. So on 4, it's not in slope-intercept form, so that's what you're going to need to do first. But on 3, where are we going to start the first graph at? For some reason I can't draw vertical lines that well. Okay, anyways, down 3, and then we're going to go where? Okay, think of that negative as being on the top or the bottom. So I'm going to go down 1 and then positive 4, right 4. Down 1, right, whoops. Down 1, right 4. Or we can go backwards, up 1, left 4. Negative slopes, the line should be falling from left to right. Okay, what's x equals 4 look like? Okay, this is the x-axis. It's vertical. You go to 4 on the x-axis. It's not y equals this time, it's x equals. You go to 4 on the y-axis, or the x-axis, and then if I drew a horizontal line, would that look right? No, that'd just be the x-axis itself. It's a vertical line. All the x values of 4 are on that line. So what is the common solution? 4, negative 4. Yeah. And one more graph. On 7, they say use a separate sheet to show your work because they didn't like leave any room in there.
Do we have to use it? There's enough room on the side. For at least like 2 of them.
I guess I'll let you guys choose. You're going to have to write pretty small if you... Okay, number 5. What's different about number 5? It's in standard form, not slope-intercept form, so we're going to have to change it. Get y by itself. How do I get y by itself?
Subtract x.
So we got 4y equals negative 3x. Divide by 4. So when you divide by 4, every term needs divided by 4. So we have y equals negative 3/4 x plus 16 divided by 4 is 4. And on this one, if we subtract x, multiply or divide by -1. Oh, let's put divide by -1. Oh, I didn't switch the order. I'm kind of zoning out here. Anyway, -x divided by -1 is positive x. 3 divided by -1 is -3. I'll switch the order. Alright, so this top equation we're going to start up 4. Then we're going to go down 3, right 4. That's probably only 2 points will fit on that graph. And on this graph, we're going to start down 3. Then we're going to go up 1 over 1. So they meet right there. So the common solution should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. 4, 1.
What if the lines are parallel?
Okay, what if the lines are parallel? Which that should happen on one of these. No solution. If they don't cross at all, there's no common solution. Alright. Okay, 7, we're supposed to use substitution. And then 13, we're supposed to use elimination. Okay, if we're using substitution, substitution probably would be the easier way on this one. Because if it's set up as y equals or x equals 8, that usually is the case. What would be a good first step? Anybody have a good idea? Good first step for this one. Maybe it's a little bit confusing because they both say y equals.
Solve for y or solve for
They're already solved for y.
But you add, like, put an egg, you move the 2x.
Oh, 7x plus 15 equals -2x plus 6.
Okay, if y is equal to all this, then we can change the y in the other equation to all that. So it's, this y becomes 7x plus 15 equals -2x plus 6. And then what do we do when we have x's on both sides of the equation? We need to eliminate it from one side, so to get rid of the -2x, we could add a positive 2x. I didn't really look at the answer sheet, but I'm guessing there's no fractions. Let me see if I can find the answer sheet. I didn't pass it out this time, did I? No. Yeah, no fractions. Okay. So x is -1. And we need to plug that back in. Let's see, it doesn't really matter where you plug it in. If we put it right here, -2 times -1 is 2, plus 6 is y equals 8. Actually, instead of copying number 9 down, maybe I'll just write down the substitution line. You guys already have it written on your page. Huh? Yep. Alright, James, on 9, if you substitute,
Do you plug in the negative 6x and minus 9 for the y?
yeah, so what would that top line become?
Negative 2x plus 4 parentheses negative 6x minus 9 equals negative 2.
Alright, so just replace the y on the top equation with negative 6x minus 9. Use parentheses, because if we're doing 4 times y, then we need to do 4 times all of that. So distributive property alright, we can clean this up a little bit. Negative 2x minus 24x is negative 26x. And we get rid of the minus 36, we add 36. So, x is negative 1. Y, okay. So I'm going to take my negative 1 and put it, well, I didn't write the original problem down. The original problem, one of them said y equals negative 6x minus 9. So if I take my x and put it right there, negative 6 times negative 1 is 6. Minus 9 is negative 3. Okay, number 11, it doesn't say x equals or y equal. So how do we fix it? Solve one of the equations for x or y. Which x or y would it be easiest to get by itself? The top x. Why is it easier to get this by itself? Because there's no number multiplied to x. So for example, if we were trying to get this x by itself, we'd have to subtract 8y and divide by 3. We don't want to do that. How would I get this x by itself? Just add 4y. So, x equals, you can put negative 16 plus 4y or 4y minus 16. Okay, this is what x is equal to. So I'm going to replace x on the second equation with that stuff. So the second equation becomes 3 times 4y minus 16. Multiply by 3. y plus 8y go together. Kind of out of room. Okay, just don't touch it. Add 48. Probably just need to get out this graph paper. So you get 20y equals 40. Therefore, y must be 2. And if I put 2 right here, 4 times 2 is 8 minus 16. X is negative 8. Some of you I noticed have been using the ordered pairs. Just make sure if you do, you put the alphabetical order, -8, 2. And really, if you have been putting ordered pairs, you've been getting it right. So not a big deal. Circle that one up. All right. Saving the best for last. Elimination. So of course they're going to start off easier. On 13, if we add the two lines together, actually 13 is a little bit weird. If we add the two lines together, what's going to happen?
They both go.
They both go away, which is unusual. Usually it's like 14 where just the y's go away. But on 13, the x's and the y's go away. I don't know if I want to write this down. Let's go back here. It's kind of like the book assignment we did on Monday. Let's go blue. 9x plus 9y equals 11, negative 9. Okay, if we add these two lines together, the x's go away and the y's go away. So there's nothing over there, 0. The right side is 2. So it's a false, like nonsense statement. That means nothing works. So this is no solution. Number 13. Okay, even if it's no solution, I do expect to see a little bit of work. All right, so like 0 equals 2. Same. Number 15. Negative 8x plus. Okay. Now, if we add these two lines together, will anything go away? No. Y plus y is 2y. That doesn't eliminate. So how do I make them eliminate?
Multiply by -1.
If I multiply by -1, this line will become positive 8x minus y equals -10. And now if I add that new line with the first line, those two together, the y's will go away. Y plus negative y is nothing. Negative 3x plus 8x is 5x. 0 plus negative 10 or 0 minus 10 is negative 10. So x is -2. Okay. The kind of bad thing about elimination is when you go to plug it back in, it's not as easy as substitution is. But so if I put -2, let's say right here, 3x is -2, so -3 times -2 is 6. So 6 plus what equals 0? -6. Or you could just, subtract 6 on both sides. All right. 17. Wrapping it up. How you guys feeling about this chapter? Starting to get it? Well, this will be our first test of the semester, so it'll count. It kind of will dominate our grades for a while, until the second test at least. Okay, nothing's gonna eliminate, so how do I make one of the x's or y's eliminate?
You looked at 15, the bottom one.
Oops, x plus y equals 6. Okay, so how do I make the x's or y's eliminate?
Multiply the bottom by -1.
No, did I?
Forward.
Multiply by
Okay,
4.
just 4 would work, because that would be a 4x and that would cancel out with that. So let's do the bottom times 4. So the top line plus the bottom line, x's go away. Negative 10y plus 4y is negative 6y. And negative 30 plus 24 is negative 6. Okay, so y is 1. I'll put, well, the second equation was really easy. So it would be x plus 1 equals 6. So what would x have to be? 5. So, if this was the test, I would highly recommend after you get your answer, so we kind of got the answer by using the second equation, so you could check it using the first equation. So if I plug in 5 for x and 1 for y, does it actually equal negative 3? So that's what I would recommend. Like negative 4 times 5 is negative 20, negative 10 times 1 is negative 10, negative 20 minus 10 is negative 30. Anyway, it works. So it's kind of a way to guarantee you got it right. 2x minus 3y equals 12. Negative 3x. Okay, save the best for last. 2 does not multiply into 3, or this 3 does not multiply into 4. So what do we have to do? Multiply both lines. So even though 2 doesn't go into 3 and 3 doesn't go into 2, what do 2 and 3 both go into? 6. So I'm going to multiply the top line by 3 and the bottom line times 2. Alright, add the x's together to go away. Negative 9 plus 8 is negative 1y, or just negative y. 36 plus negative 32.
Y.
Yeah, if you divide by negative 1, you get y is negative 4. Let's see, let's put negative 4 maybe on the top equation. So negative 3 times negative 4 is positive 12. So 2x plus 12 should equal 12. A lot of times when people get like a 12x equals 0, they put like no solution or something, but it's just, you'd still divide and it's just 0. 0 is the answer. Which is not the same thing as no solution. That's kind of a weird idea. 0 is not nothing, but
0 is not nothing.
it's not, 0 and no solution are two different things. It's weird.